reversal. Hey guys, we are getting ready here for season 4 of the Creation Today show. My co-host is amazing and gone right now.
Learn how to give a proper apologetic or defense for your faith with Battleship Apologetics this season on Creation Today, starting August 20th at creationtoday.org.
Hey guys, Eric Hovind here with creationtoday.org. I'm sitting down with Tony Miano, street evangelist extraordinaire. Tony, thanks for hanging out with me, man. I appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Good to see you.
Okay, Tony, you've been doing street evangelism for how long now?
10 years.
10 years. Have you learned anything?
Every single day of my life, yeah. Yeah, every time I think, okay, I've seen it all, something happens that day that starts me right back to square one.
Wow, okay. You've got a great ministry, Cross Encounter Men.
Cross Encounters Men, yeah.
Cross Encounters, put it on the screen, Kent. Okay, crossencountersmen.com. People go to your website, they can read your writings, which, by the way, you have a gift for writing. You have a gift for painting word pictures. I love that.
Thank you.
And then your videos. Give us some, though, for people that haven't gone there, give us some advice on your street preaching. And, okay, when people go out there, what's some pointers?
Well, first you want to find a place where, I refer to them in two categories, either a pond or a stream. A pond is where the fish just kind of pool around, sit, they're gathering in one place. A stream is where you have a steady flow of people moving back and forth. Subway stations, train stations, bus stations, those are good places that provide both. And so you can present short, quick, 2-3 minute open airs for the people moving back and forth. And then you can present longer messages to those who are just hanging around waiting for a bus or meeting with friends or what have you. So you want to find a spot where people are. Charles Spurgeon, in talking about open air preaching, said, it really doesn't do any good to be in your own backyard, yelling at yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So you want to go to places where people are. You want to make sure that, if at all possible, you're on public property that belongs to you and me here in the United States. And
that's a good tip.
Yeah. So a good way to find out is if you're on a sidewalk. If you look and it's a city-maintained road, well, that sidewalk's going to be public property.
Gotcha.
So you want to try to stay on public property. Sidewalks, parks are really good. Again, most of the stations that I just mentioned, public college, university campuses, those are wonderful places to do open-air ministry. Not only open-air preaching, but one-to-one conversations. Yeah. Kids love to talk about their favorite subject, and it's themselves. And
Nice.
So they will talk to you all day long. So.
Wow. Okay, give me some pointers on what does it look like to make sure when you go out you are presenting in love. I mean, I realize, look, we're reading some things. Just reading scripture is so condemning on the sinner. How do you make sure and come across in love?
Yeah, well, I always begin my open airs by letting people know who I am and where I'm from. Letting them know that I'm out there, not on my own, but with the prayerful support of the pastors of my church. I let them know that I'm going to say things to them that they won't like, but I'm not here to condemn you, I'm here to warn you. And a friend who loves a friend will warn their friend when their friend is in danger.
That's true.
I'm going to raise my voice so you can hear, but it's not because I'm angry. And now granted, that serves for those who are in your immediate area right when you start.
Right.
But if I see the people change, if I see the crowd change, I might remind them of some of those things as I see new people come in. And so I try to take the wind out of the sail by letting them see that I'm a reasonable person, that I'm not a nomad, living out on a street corner somewhere, that I actually have a home and a church, and I express to them that I'm there because I care about them.
Nice. That is awesome. Okay. What is your favorite fishing hole and why?
Wow, that's tough.
Because you get to go all over the place.
Yeah, I've been very blessed.
You go to churches and work with local churches to help them develop a whole system and train people in how to do it the right way to not make the mistakes that people have made in the past.
Right. Yeah, some of the places I've really liked around the world, really, downtown Portland, Oregon, wonderful place, Pioneer Square. It's beautiful aesthetically. Lots of people gather there, free to open air preach and use amplification outside the square. Really love that place. I loved open air preaching in Inverness, Scotland. Nessie, Loch Ness Monster.
Oh yeah. Did you see her?
Twice.
Twice.
She winked at me once.
She is real. I've been telling you that for a long time. All right, she's there.
But what I loved about that place, one, it was beautiful. But as we were there, open air preaching on the street, people in their 70s and 80s would stop, weeping, thanking us for preaching the gospel. They hadn't heard the gospel on their streets in 50, 60 years.
Wow.
So places like that really touch my heart. Back home in Southern California, I love the UCLA campus. It's wide open. I've never had any kind of negative interaction with school officials or with law enforcement. In fact, some of the students who do tours for prospective students, if we're on the campus open air preaching, they make us part of the tour.
Wow.
And they'll even stop for a second and say, see, we have an open campus here. We allow free speech. We allow people to come on the campus. And they'll actually stop and allow some of the kids to actually hear some of the gospel preaching. I could go through 50 to 100 Bibles in an afternoon there on the campus. So I love UCLA, wonderful spot. Probably two other spots that are really good that I really like. One is Hollywood Boulevard. You've been out there. Hollywood Boulevard, where effectively you can spread the gospel around the world in an afternoon. You'd be fortunate to meet someone that lives in California.
In Hollywood, yes, exactly.
And then the North Hollywood Metro Station, which is a pond in the stream. Thousands of people go through there every day.
Wow.
And so, yeah, those are some of my favorite spots.
Okay, so for the people that say, look, Tony, I'm not big on getting up on something and just standing up there talking. I'm more of the one-to-one guy. I'd rather go out and pass out a tract and talk to somebody one-on-one. What are some pieces of advice that you give when you're out going to these churches and talking to them and giving, kind of counseling them and telling them, here's some things to think about? What would you say to that?
Well, when it comes to handing out tracts, one thing I find myself reminding people of all the time is to smile.
Nice.
Actually look like you have something good to put in their hand and that you actually enjoy doing it. I wrote a tract called Thank You that's really designed for giving out at a restaurant or cashiers, anyone who provides you with a service. But handing out a gospel tract is as simple as saying, have a nice day.
Yeah.
I would say, don't ask someone, do you want one of these?
Right.
9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be
no. They don't want what you got. That's right.
Ray Comfort often will ask people, did you get one of these?
Yeah.
Which rises the level of curiosity. But I simply smile at someone and say, hey, have a great day. And people are more apt to take something from me, sometimes maybe even out of guilt. I don't care what their motive is for taking it. But wow, this guy was nice. He said, have a nice day. Okay, I'll take what he's giving me. And I saw that happen a number of times on Brew and Walk at UCLA, which is one of the hardest places to hand out tracts. Because every student group is on Brew and Walk, and you basically walk through a gauntlet
of people handing
people
your
in
stuff.
Groups, and I'll watch as they go through the gauntlet, just rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, I don't want any paper," and I'll step in front of them and say, "Hey, you know what? Have a good day. Hope your classes go well today." "Oh, thanks," and they'll take the tract.
Nice.
So I think that's helpful as far as handing out tracts. One-to-one conversations. Again, be friendly. Let people know immediately why you're approaching them, right? What were we taught as kids? Don't talk to strangers,
right?
So our entire society is built on that teaching, that admonition, don't talk to strangers. So if you're a stranger and you're walking up to someone, their first thought is, this is a stranger, I don't want to talk to you. So be open about who you are. Hi, my name's Tony. I'm out here talking to people about their faith. Can I have a conversation with you? No.
Just that simple.
Just that simple.
And then you're in or you're out. Right
I'm in or I'm out. And if I'm out, I'll say, oh, thanks for your time. Here's something good for you to read. And I'll hand them a tract.
Nice.
You see, the only time we fail in evangelism, if we're doing it biblically, is when we fail to evangelize.
Wow.
Right? And if we truly believe in the sovereignty of God, there's no pressure on us to perform. We simply have to go out there and love God and love people and trust in Him to do the rest.
Yeah.
And when I learned that, when I discovered that, that's when my evangelism went from being something I do to just pure joy in the activity. Because it's an act of worship. Handing out a gospel tract is an act of worship. You're loving God enough to go out there and tell someone else about your King. Engaging someone in a conversation, it's an act of worship. Open air preaching, an act of worship. And it should be a joy, and is if you realize that God is ultimately doing all of the work and you're simply obeying the two greatest commandments to love God and love people.
That is beautiful. Well, I appreciate the work you do. Thank you for
Thanks.
being encouragement to the body of Christ to be out there in the world doing the work of evangelism. It's something we're all called to do. So appreciate it. Hey, make sure you check out his website,
Cross Encounters Men.
EncountersMen.com. You want me to come up with a new one for you on that, man? That's tough.
It is tough, I know.
Okay, Cross Encounters, plural, men.com.
Yeah.
It's on the screen, so you can write it down. Check that out. Go watch some of his videos and be encouraged that, hey, even you can go out today and pass out a gospel tract.
Amen.
Tony, thanks, man.
God bless
Appreciate
you,
it.
brother.
You
Thank
too.
you. Battleship Apologetics, this season on Creation Today, starting August 20th at creationtoday.org.